This is going to seem like a joke we made up. This is not a joke we made up. This is a real advertisement for the Donald Trump fragrance line. He or his people posted a fragrance your enemies can't resist. They really posted that. But I guess he didn't have a choice. He had to use that picture because he doesn't have a picture of his own wife smiling at him. Damn!
Well, it's good to know that while NBC seems to be bending the knee to Donald Trump, not all of their hosts are going to fall in line.
This is us to Donald Trump, who got yet another early Christmas gift today. He was named Time Magazine's Person of the Year. That's the cover. Sadly, there's no one left to roll it up and spank him with it.
Donald Trump has been named Time's Person of the Year because no person on earth has taken up more of our goddamn time.
Now, as we know, there are few who get under that orange coat of makeup quite like Jimmy Kimmel, with him still holding on to Kimmel's Oscar joke last year like it was a fake elector scheme circa 2020. But after Trump used a picture of himself and First Lady Jill Biden to sell his new line of colognes and perfumes for the steal of $199 during this grueling economic time we are allegedly in, you know, where eggs aren't cheap, but not to worry, you can take home a stellar pair of gold Trump sneakers for $399, and then you head out onto the town with the spray-on snake oil and grab your $60 God Bless America Bible made in China, and you're good to go. Well, in response to said troll-in-chief, Jimmy Kimmel said this.
This is going to seem like a joke we made up. This is not a joke we made up. This is a real advertisement for the Donald Trump fragrance line. He or his people posted a fragrance your enemies can't resist. They really posted that. But I guess he didn't have a choice. He had to use that picture because he doesn't have a picture of his own wife smiling at him.
But he didn't stop there, right? After Donald Trump was swift to praise Time Magazine after they chose him to be Time's Person of the Year, Kimmel was quick to remind America of Donald Trump's discontent with the magazine through the years. How Trump slammed Time Magazine in 2013 over their 100 most influential list. Why, you ask? Well, come on, you don't need to ask. You know the reason. Trump wasn't on the list. Therefore, of course he has a grievance with them.
Over the years, you know, Trump has had many ups and downs when it comes to Time Magazine. In 2013, he wrote Time Magazine list of the 100 most influential people is a joke and a stunt of a magazine that will, like Newsweek, soon be dead. And just took a look at Time Magazine, looks really flimsy, like a free handout at the parking lot. The sad end is coming, just like Newsweek.
Only to then change his tune in 2015. Why, again, you may ask? Come on, you don't need to ask. This, of course, was when Time put him on the cover.
In 2015, when they put him on the cover of Time Magazine, a great honor.
Yet just months later, when he failed to make Time's Person of the Year, the billionaire decided to slam the winner, Angela Merkel.
And then they didn't make him Person of the Year that year. I told you Time Magazine would never pick me as Person of the Year, despite being the big favorite. They picked person who is ruining Germany. But then the next year, thank you to Time Magazine and Financial Times for naming me Person of the Year, a great honor.
Now, are you sensing a trend here? A trend that doesn't just stop with Time Magazine. His affliction to anyone or thing at any given time relies solely on how deeply they worship him. Hence why during his first term, he was so proud to admit that he appointed the smartest people, the best to ever do it. But when things went sour, well, he had this to say. Let's roll the tape.
In 2016, you said that. I'm going to surround myself with only the best and most serious people.
Well, I did do that, and we had tremendous, look, we had the best economy we've ever had, the world has ever seen.
Your Vice President, Mike Pence, is running against you.
Yeah.
Your Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, she's running against you. Your former Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, said he's not supporting you. You mentioned National Security Advisor John Bolton. He's not supporting you either. You mentioned Attorney General Bill Barr, says you shouldn't be president again, calls you the consummate narcissist and troubled man. You recently called Barr a gutless pig. Your second defense secretary is not supporting you, called you irresponsible. This week, you and your White House called your White House Chief of Staff, John Kelly, weak and ineffective and born with a very small brain. You called your acting White House Chief of Staff, Mick Mulvaney, a born loser. You called your first Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, dumb as a rock, and your first Defense Secretary, James Mattis, the world's most overrated general. You called your White House Press Secretary, Kayleigh Canadian, milquetoast, and multiple times you've referred to your Transportation Secretary, Elaine Chao, as Mitch McConnell's China-loving wife. So, Why did you hire all of them in the first place?
But as I said at the beginning, while ABC's decision to settle a defamation lawsuit has sent a chill throughout the media, and as Trump alluded to in a press conference, it doesn't end with ABC. He's coming for anyone who dares to disparage or disagree with him.
I'm doing this because I feel I have an obligation to. I'm going to be bringing one against the people in Iowa, their newspaper, which had a very, very good pollster who got me right all the time. And then just before the election, she said I was going to lose by 3 or 4 points. And it became the biggest story all over the world because I was going to win Iowa by 20 points. The farmers loved me and I loved the farmers. And it was interesting the way she did it. She brought it down 2 weeks before. She said I was going to only win by 4. That was a big story. But that was good because she brought it down from like 22 points to 4 or whatever the number was, way up. Way up, an easy win. Never even thought to go there. I respect them, I love them, and they understand there's no reason to go there because she brought it from way up, walk away, which it was, and it turned out to be in the election too, by the way. It was a win by many, many points. And then she brought it down very smartly to 4 a couple of weeks before, and everyone said, wow, that's amazing. He's only up by 4 points. Then she brought it down to where I was down by 3 or 4, whatever number she used. And that was the Des Moines Register, and it was their parent. And in my opinion, it was fraud, and it was election interference. You know, she's gotten me right always. She's a very good pollster. She knows what she was doing. And she then quit before. And we'll probably be filing a major lawsuit against them today or tomorrow.
At least there are a few within the ranks of that company who are willing to call a spade, and a malignant narcissist a...
Ding, 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 ding. He jammed his little finger on that bell like it was the Diet Coke button in the Oval Office. That's how long my son would ring a bell. He's 7 years old. Just a very stable, very even, some say stable genius of a man. And then, since he was back in the Big Apple, Trump treated a floor full of stockbrokers to the classic timeless story of the old lady and the apples.
People can't afford their groceries, and they're going to be affording their groceries very soon. I tell the story about a woman an old woman, no money, went to a grocery store, had 3 apples. She put them down on the counter, and she looked, and she saw the price, and she said, would you excuse me? And she walked one of the apples back to the refrigerator and came back to pay for the 2 apples. And she left with 2 apples, and the woman at the counter said that was so sad. And when I heard about the story, I said, that should never happen in America, and it's not going to happen in America.
Yeah, and it never happened in the first place.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.